Hello everyone, welcome to AITech1.com. My name is Sumit and I'm Idwan with my new video in Salesforce integration. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate you how to do step-by-step DIY integration between Salesforce and Slack. So as all of you know that Salesforce, Slack and Salesforce, these are two popular software these days. Slack is a CRM solution, and Salesforce is an instant messaging tool similar to Microsoft Teams, Google Hangout, Chat, Cisco Jabber, Workspace by Facebook, and many others. So in this video, we will be going to do step-by-step configuration and integration between Salesforce and Slack. And in order to accomplish this, we need to have a Salesforce developers account and a Slack account. So let's have a look how to accomplish this. So as you can see, that's my Salesforce account. I can see my Salesforce account. That's my Salesforce instance, you can see. And the first thing we need to do is we need to register for Slack. So Slack is providing a free trial version. So we can use that version. We can register on a Slack for a trial account. So first of all, we navigate to www.slack.com and you need to click on try for free. There are various options to sign up, and either we can sign into an existing workspace if you are already using Slack, or if you have any, if you want to use your organizational account, you can use that. Or I'm going with my Google account. I'm using my Gmail account to sign into Slack. So I have got couple of accounts. So I'm using my Salesforce account to log in into Slack. So as you can see, I have successfully logged in into Slack. And now it's time to create a new team. So first of all, we need to create a workspace. So I'll just click on create a workspace. And we need to specify the workspace name. So I'll just write AI Tech 1. I call this as AI Tech 1. Click on next. What's your team working on right now? So here we need to specify on what channel. So we need to specify the channel name. So I'll just specify channel name as leads. So my team will be working on leads right now. Who do you email most about leads? So right now I don't want to add any teammates, or so therefore instead of adding any teammates, I'm just skipping this test setup step. I'll just say skip this step and pickle. So we logged in into Slack and our Slack successfully configured. So as you can see, once I configured Slack, I got couple of channels. I got two channels as a random one and in random one and journal channel. So they are created by default, and leads one we created. So the Slack account is set up successfully and the workspace is created. Now it's time to create a new custom channel. So I can create one more channel now. And how do we do that? In order to create a new channel, so we have already created a lead channel earlier. This is the Slack channel, which we can be used to collaborate with your team to share records about the leads or the new coming leads or the new leads we added. Now I'm going to add a new channel. So how do we do that? I click on plus sign, click on create a channel, and I'll give this channel name as opportunity. So I'll just write opportunity. Now in this channel, we will be having all the Salesforce opportunities, all the Salesforce opportunities discussion will be going to take place in this channel. We can add a description if we want. We can make it, if you want to make it a private one, it can be only viewed by, or it can be only viewed or joined by invitation, but I want to make it public. All my internal teammates can take a part in this channel. They can preview this channel. So I just keep it as public. Click on create. In next step, I'll just skip it for now and automatically add anyone who joins AI Tech 1. So I'm not going to add any email right now. I'll simply skip this and click on save. So as you can see, the channel is created. Channel is successfully created now. Now it's time to install Slack in Salesforce App Exchange because the main objective is to to set up a relationship between to set up an integration between Salesforce and Slack. So now what we'll do is in Salesforce, I'll get back to setup first, and I'm going to install Slack application in my environment. And in order to do that, I'm going to take help of App Exchange. So I can visit App Exchange from here by clicking on Get Started, or I can visit App Exchange by clicking on View All and then click on App Exchange. So that is one and the same thing. So I click on Get Started. I'm navigating to App Exchange, and I'm just going to search. So I'll just search here Slack, search for Slack, click on Slack, and we are going to install it. And it's a freeware, so I just get it now. Open login screen. Give permission to access the API. And install here in this environment, in this org. Just follow the wizard or just follow the steps like as we used to install other applications in Salesforce. I install it for all users and click on either we can install it for all users or for admins. So it depends on the requirement. What's your requirement? Do you want to install it for uh, so, but in this case, I'm going with admin one because in Slack setup app for configuration, so we'll be going to set up config means we'll be going to configure only for admin right now. Click on install. Uh, these are some third-party access. So yes, I give permissions to that. I just give access to all the third-party permissions. So the installation will take time. It depends on the network speed and this installation. So it will take few minutes. This video I'm going to create in two parts. In first part, we'll be going to learn how to configure, how to integrate Slack and Salesforce, and we will be testing it out. And in my next part, in the second part of this video, I will be going to cover that how can we perform the advanced functionalities, how can we use Slack to create new records or to get the alerts in Slack whenever a record gets updated in Salesforce. So as you can see, the installation has completed. I click on done and close this. In order to cross verify just whether the application has installed successfully or not, I'll simply quickly recheck it by getting into installed packages. Installed packages. I'll just get to the installed packages and check it out whether this application installed successfully or not. So as you can see, Slack has installed successfully and there is no expiry date for this. Now, the next step is to install Salesforce app in Slack because we have installed Slack within Salesforce. Now we'll be going to install Salesforce in Slack so that both the applications can communicate with each other. And in order to install Salesforce in Slack, I click on the workspace, setting and administration, and click on manage apps. So I am going to use the same application which I'm using right now. So I'll just click on launch. And here we will be going to search Salesforce to be installed. So this is the Slack app directory from where we can download the application. So I just search for Salesforce. And I got the first option here, Salesforce search and view information from Salesforce in Slack. So I just check, I just click on this arrow. Scroll. There's an option called add to Slack. So I click on add to Slack. Scroll down, click on add to Slack. Give permission, allow. So you need to just give all the permissions which it asks you to do. It asks you to assign. So I just give all the permissions. And once it is done, we can check that the Salesforce app successfully added into our Slack. So as you can see, Salesforce app has been added successfully in our Slack. So it's done successfully. Now, the next step is to we can set up alerts if we'll be getting an option, but here I'm not getting an option for that. So that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to set up alerts from Salesforce itself. Now the next step is to need to add permissions to user. So I'll get back to my Salesforce environment and I'll look for permission sets. I just look for permission sets. In permission sets, I just search for Slack standard user. I just open this Slack standard user, manage assignments, add assignments, and I just select the users to whom we want to give permission. So I just select both the users because I want to give permissions to both the users. So I click on, or let's suppose right now I'm going with the first user, only one user right now. So I click on assign and finally click on done. So we configure we assign permissions to user. Now it's time to configure the Slack setting. And in order to configure the Slack setting, we need to click on app launcher. And from here, I just search for Slack setup. Now there are 5 settings in Slack setup, and only the system connection and the OR configuration settings are mandatory. The rest can be set up as and when the need arises. And it's not mandatory, it's not required to set them in one go. So, but in this example, I would be going to cover all of them together. But if you want, we can skip them out. So let's start it. How to do that? How to configure Slack within Salesforce. So I click on Get Started. First of all, we need to connect to Slack. Right now, there is no connectivity between Salesforce and Slack. So I click on Authorized. And now Salesforce will get authorized by Slack for communication. And you can see we establish and manage the connection between the Slack and Salesforce. So the connectivity is done. Click on Finish. Click on Continue to enable the custom object. This step is very important. So here what I'm going to do is this option will be required if we wish to enable custom object if we want to enable any custom object in our organization to be used with the Slack. So for example, we have a custom object called candidate, or we have a custom object called position. So if we want to use that object, then we will be using, otherwise we can skip it out. So I'll just add a custom object and I select my custom object as, let's say, candidate. And what are the fields? I just select all the fields. Okay, it's only 9 fields can be selected. So therefore I select date of birth, email ID, experience, full name, phone number, WhatsApp number, LinkedIn profile, and yeah, that's fine. And click on add. Now the next thing is we need to activate it. So there are 2 ways to activate. We have we can activate using automation. We can There are two ways to activation: automatic and manual. So I'm going with automatic first. And when we try to activate it automatic, it will show an error message because there are certain steps which we need to configure. In manual automation, we need to configure few steps and which are necessary to activate the custom object. So I create, I'm going to activate it. I'm going to perform manual activation. In manual activation, we need to follow this method. We need to perform this method. So we click on next step by step, and whatever steps are coming up here, whatever steps are available, we just follow the steps one by one. And once we complete all the steps, then our object will be activated. Then our custom object will be activated. So as you can see, what I have done, I have configured all the settings which is required for manual activation for a custom object. And I'm getting the green symbol also. It means I have configured all the settings. So I simply click on done, and as soon as I click on done, you will find out that the object is activated now. So I have successfully activated the custom object. And once finished, click on, once done, click on finish and move to next step. So two steps we have configured successfully. Now it's time to configure third step. So I click on third step, custom alerts. And I'm going to set up custom alerts like whenever we get an whenever we get some issues or whenever the error occurs, so we would like to get the alerts. So basically, Slack has certain alerts for standard objects out of the box. So this is required when we want to wish to create any custom alerts. So I click on new alert, and the alert name is, because let me show you something. I got my lead object. Let me go to lead object, and in my lead object, so I would like to get an alert that whenever a new record is created or whenever a record is updated. So I just wanted to know that whenever a record is created or updated for certain uh, industry. So let's suppose I'm targeting mainly educational industry. So education industry. So or let's say communication industry. It depends. So I'll just go with consulting industry. So if any lead is created, where the industry is consulting, so I want to get a notification alert. So therefore, I just call this as consulting industry hot leads. Object, lead object. I want record level alert. So you can see an alert is sent when an individual record of the selected object meets the specified criteria. So we'll get an alert message. So we'll get an alert message for that. So I select record level and click on next. And in next, I need to set up an alert now. So I'll just set an alert here that if the operator is, so I'll just set if the industry equals to, I'll set industry as consulting. And so if the industry is consulting and the annual revenue, so and the annual revenue is greater than, let's say 1 million. So I'll just say, and the annual revenue is greater than 1 million. So it's 1 million is almost 10 lakhs. So I'll just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 lakhs. Then I would like to then I would like to receive a notification alert. So I click on save. Like this, we can add multiple alerts as on required. We can add more than one alert. And once we successfully add the alerts, I click on finish. Now, the next is the organizational configuration. This is also an important part, the org configure. So I click on continue and I'm going to configure an org. And in this org configuration, so what it is doing, it is saying that add the Slack actions to layouts, automatically add to the automatically add and send to Slack and Slack alert action to the page and global layout. So it is going to add on the account right now. And if I select classic, and so as you can see, we have multiple objects because of the size. Let me reduce the size. So you can see it is going to add the layout, the Slack alert and the Slack alert action, the button and the alert action on all the objects. So I just want to add it on all the objects so that, and I click on add actions to layout. So it is going to add the action on the layout and the message viewer component on the layout. And if it is not available by default, we can just customize the layout and drag and drop it. So let it done, let it complete this process, then we'll proceed next. So because we have a lot of objects, so it will take time to complete this. Now, as you can see, it's the action is completed successfully. I click on next. And in next step, we'll be going to add the Slack message viewer component to page. So we need to add the message component viewer to that page. So let me go and check the, we have leads. I'll just go to account. And in accounts, I can go and check Berlin Textile Corporation. And in details, I will be going to get the options here. So I'll just click on, I'm going to add the, I'll just select the classic and I'm going to add on all of them, lightning pasting. So basically we'll be going to add it on all of them. So basically we'll be going to add this component on all the pages. So we have lightning or classic. So basically I just select both lightning and classic both and click on add component to page. So what it will be going to do, it will be going to add the component on the selected pages. And once it is done, I click on finish. And once this process is finished, let's go and check. I'll switch back to account and I'll check it out. So on accounts, as you can see, we got a message here, Slack alerts sent to Slack. And in details section, we will be getting Slack message. We want Slack alerts. So what I will be doing is I'll just click on edit page and I'm going to customize this. I just want the related Slack messages component. So that component we need to add manually. So I'll just scroll down and look Slack message viewer and drag and drop it over here. So I just drag and drop at this portion. Related Slack messages. I'll just save this, activate it, assign as org default, desktop and phone, next, save, and we get back. So that's the way we add the Slack viewer on a pages, means on all the pages, specifically on account. So like this way, we have to add this on all the account, means all the objects on which we want to display. And finally, the last step, that's an automation configuration. So I click on continue and we can click on new message definition. This, here we are going to create a new message definition and I just specify a message definition, consulting industry lead creation notifications alert. And the workspace is the AI Tech One training and the channel is lead. So it means whenever we create a new lead, so notification alerts will be there. We can add more notification alerts. We can add notification alerts on opportunities that when an opportunity is closed as one, it will send a notification, will receive a notification alert. Or so for this, we need to add a notification alerts. So I click on finish. And finally, it's all done. So we have successfully configured the setting. Now it's time to get started with using Slack and experience a new way of messaging and collaboration between Slack and Salesforce. So I'll get back to my Slack once and I'm just going to check using Salesforce app. So I select lead and in lead, I type a message. I just type /, and give a space, or I just search for Salesforce. Salesforce. So you can see search Salesforce, add or edit channel alerts with Salesforce, or we can find and share a record with Salesforce. We can search and manage alerts for Salesforce. So I just select search, I search the term, and let's suppose we are looking for a lead because we successfully configured that if a new lead is there, if a lead is if we have a lead, so we can search for a lead. So let me go and check all the leads we have. So I'll just click on all open leads, and I want to search about, let's say, Bertha Boxer. So I simply type here Bertha and press enter. And what happened? Uh, as you can see, Slack send a message to Salesforce for searching to look for that particular lead, and you can see for Bertha Boxer, it successfully found, and there are one result for Bertha. I click on lead, and we got the Bertha Boxer. We can just preview that record by directly clicking on that link. I can see the details section of that record. So as you can see, it directly redirect me to that record. Or else we can click on view records and we can see the details. We can see the details like title, company, phone, email, lead status, lead source, and that's for leads. And here we have performed. If you want to delete, we can delete this message. So as all of you can see that we have successfully previewed the records from Salesforce. So we can search lead, we can search opportunities by sending a message from Slack onto Salesforce. Now the next step, the next thing which I'm going to show you quickly here is that I just want to configure one setting into Salesforce, that if any record gets updated, or if any record gets converted, or if any basically you can say that if any modifications done in that record, if the status get changed, or anything happens with that record, if the leads get converted into an opportunity, then I would like to send a Slack alert. So there is an option. So as you can see, I get into that lead record, I click on Slack alerts, and from here I just want to Slack an alert to leads. And whenever this particular lead is converted, or this lead status has changed, or lead owner changed, then what happened? It will send a notification alert to it will send a notification alert back to Slack. And I just activate this option of Slack. So I'll just save this. So let's go and check. So I'll quickly do one thing. First of all, let's go step by step. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll just change the owner. I just change the owner, and right now the owner is, I'll just set this owner to Adit. Right now I'm the owner, but I change the owner to Adit and submit it. So as you can see, now the owner is Adit, and if I get back to Slack, so you can see I quickly get an instance that lead owner has changed, and we can view the record now. And now we can see that who will be the owner. So I can see the complete record. See, now the owner is Adit Kumar. Earlier the owner was Sumit. And in same manner, if the lead is converted to opportunity, let's suppose if I just convert this lead successfully, and if I convert this lead to an opportunity, an account, and contact, so then also it will send a notification alert onto onto Slack that the lead is converted successfully, and I can see this record that the lead is converted successfully. So we can see the close converted. So like this way, a communication we can do a communication between a Slack and opportunity, and like this way. So if any leads get closed successfully, if any leads get converted, or anything happens with the lead, so it will basically it will quickly send a notification alert back to Slack. So let's stop it here for this video. So this is the first part of the video. In my second part, I would be going to cover that how can we send the notification alerts on other objects also. How can we send messages from Slack onto Salesforce, from Salesforce onto Slack, and how can we create a record into Slack using how can we create a record into Salesforce using Slack. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button. Please do subscribe our channel to get more updates, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notification whenever we upload a new video. If you have any requirement on customized training, you can visit our website www.aitech1.com, or you can drop an email to us on support@aitech1.com, or you can visit our um, or you can visit our Instagram page or LinkedIn profiles and Facebook pages, or you can contact us on the given numbers. Thanks for watching and happy coding. Have a goodbye.